Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to be talking today about a composer from the Romantic era of music. And we've talked a lot about Bach. He was from the Baroque era. Mozart, who was from the Classical era. And today we're going to be talking about a composer named Chopin. And here's a little idea of how they're separated by years. Okay, as you see, the Green era, Baroque, where Bach lived in that era, it ended at his death at 1750. And then the next was the Classical era with Mozart, and then Beethoven, who kind of went between classical and then started in the Romantic. He kind of was the in-between guy for those two eras. And then Romantic, you see, went all the way to 1900. All right, Chopin is absolutely one of my favorite composers. When I was in college, I have these books, and you see how thick they are. These are all Chopin. This is his preludes and etudes and his nocturnes and polonaises. His polonaises are so hard. Here's what some of the music looks like. A lot of notes in there, okay? So I want you to watch a very short video about his life, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about him.
Illustrating history. The work of one of the most important composers in the history of music emphasizes not only technical complexity, but the intensity of human emotion. He was considered to be a poet of the piano, the Polish Frederic Chopin. Chopin was born in 1810 in a small village called Zelazowa Wola near the city of Warsaw. His father was French and his mother was Polish. The combination of French and Polish cultures is the strongest characteristic of his work, blending the elegance of French aristocracy with Slavic traditions. Chopin started taking piano lessons from his older sister, Ludwika, when he was little. But soon, he was taking private lessons from a famous Czech pianist, Wojciech Zilny, who recognized his pupil's great talent. At the early age of 7, Chopin was already composing his first pieces and was acclaimed in Warsaw as a child prodigy. He was a very happy and fun child. In addition to his great talent for music, Chopin was also a skilled portrait artist. Legend has it that he once surprised a teacher by drawing him perfectly during class. He was also a talented writer, but music was always his greatest passion. When he was 19 years old, just 3 weeks after completing his studies at the Warsaw Conservatory, Chopin participated in a recital in Vienna and was extremely successful. In 1830, at the age of 21, Poland was occupied by the Russian army after an uprising. Chopin was abroad when it happened and would never return to his beloved homeland. Chopin loved Poland so deeply that he used to carry around a bag which contained a handful of Polish soil. Chopin moved to France, where he conquered the world for good, building a career as a teacher, interpreter, and composer. Due to his poor health, at the age of 39, Chopin died in his apartment at Place Vendôme in Paris. His funeral ceremony was held at the Madeleine Church, and it darkened the City of Lights. Chopin had become a legend. Some of his Polish friends brought jars of Polish soil to cover his grave at Père Lachaise Cemetery, so that he could rest on Polish soil forever. According to his final wishes, his heart was removed, placed into a crystal urn, and taken to Warsaw by his sister. It remains there today, inside one of the pillars of the Holy Cross Church. In over 250 pieces composed by Frederic Chopin, the piano always takes the leading role.
Okay, now this is a portrait that was painted by his fiancée when he was 25. And this is his fiancée. Okay, another very famous composer during this time was Franz Liszt. That's Liszt in the middle, right after Chopin, pictured with some other of the most famous Romantic composers there. And Franz Liszt was so famous and popular. He was like the Elvis Presley of the Romantic period. Everybody just was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Liszt." And so they were really excited when he would play. But that didn't mean Chopin was any less wonderful. And you saw in the video how they honored him after he passed away. And he was only 39. So that was really sad that he didn't live any longer. But just like Mozart, who died when he was 36. So these young men had done so much in their lives, their short lives, that we still remember them today. Okay, boys and girls, that was Mrs. Johansson playing the piano. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on Chopin. We're going to talk about one of my other favorite composers, Debussy, next time. And he was from a different era that's even farther down the road. Okay, thank you, boys and girls. Bye-bye. Be safe, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.